90.3 KEXP here in Seattle. And this is Stevie Zoom back with you on The Amanda Wild Show. We're interrupting The Amanda Wild Show for our live in studio, finally here this afternoon with Throwing Muses. Kristen Hirsch, I want to introduce Kristen here for the band. I want to say thank you on behalf of all the fans here in Seattle. Thank you for coming in here and also appearing over at Easy Street Records coming up at 6 o'clock. And then tonight at Graceland. It's a little mini tour of the U.S., so thanks for coming in here.
Oh, you're thanking us for being here?
Yes.
It's our favorite place.
How about if you introduce the rhythm section here of the band?
The rhythm section is these two guys, Bernard George and David Narciso. Bernard George is playing bass, David Narciso is playing drums. Just for today, though.
Just for today. Well, I want to say thank you to David and Bernard for coming in here as well. And as I said, later on this afternoon or this evening, whatever you prefer, 6 o'clock over at Easy Street Records in Queen Anne, and then tonight at Graceland. There's a new album simply titled Throwing Muses, and a new solo release at the same time from you, The Grotto.
Yeah, people kind of forgot about that. It's okay because I did too, though. It's really small. What was the planning on releasing those simultaneously? I had tried making a solo record and a Muses record at the same time before, and one of them got put in the can for 2 years, which is just boring and anticlimactic. So I thought if we released them at the same time, then we get more attention instead of less, or
a little bit more attention. Yeah.
More attention, yeah. That's what I'm all about, pretty much. I don't know if I put that the right way.
All right. Well, before we talk a little bit more, if you're ready to perform one song, we'd love to hear one.
Oh, sure. This is called Mercury.
You better your
Live music at 90.3 KEXP, Throwing Muses, playing tonight at Graceland. Mercury was the song from the new self-titled album. And I read a couple of the stories that you sent some tapes of some new songs you were working on with cookies to Bernard. What kind of cookies were they?
They were a brand name cookie. They were not a generic cookie. Can I say that out loud? They were Trader Joe's cookies. And he calls them the devil's feed bag because he wants to jam his face in the bag and eat them all, not share them. Which I've noticed. He doesn't share them. So yeah, he liked the songs because they came with cookies and made us all put our butts into the studio and make a record.
So there's the word of advice for folks that are writing songs and trying to get people into their band. Yeah. Get the band sound going or to get people to show up to band practice or something.
Exactly, yeah. We didn't actually practice ever. But we're old. We've been playing together for so long, we don't really practice anymore.
By the way, how was your Mother's Day yesterday?
It was long. We drove a lot. Not a lot of sleeping or eating or bathing, but I'm used to that. You
have a whole different entourage with you these days than way back in the beginning. A whole family entourage.
Yeah, I have a lot of kids. But they've been touring since they were in utero, so they're used to it. They're pretty cool. They know the drill.
And they can go to school, or the young ones there that are going to school age, they can say, hey, our mom plays, she plays loud. We have to tell her to turn it down. Is it kind of a reversal thing once in a while?
If they went to school, that might be a problem. Oh. I'm their teacher, and so the only one they have to bitch to is me, and so far they haven't tried that.
All right. Now, as I mentioned before, you've got the latest sort of solo release as well, but a couple of really cool people are on that record. Andrew Bird and Hal Gelb.
Hal Gelb, yeah.
And Andrew's just a terrific violin player.
He's amazing.
How did that all come together with those guys?
I toured with Andrew, and I knew I liked his playing, but until I actually watched him play, I didn't know that he was one of the real guys, and he's it. And Hal, of course, has always been one of the real guys. Hal Gelb is an amazing piano player. He plays backwards almost. It's crazy to watch. It's crazy to listen to. But I didn't deserve those guys to play on my record, but they both did, and it's so much better for it. It sounds like it was made on purpose now because of them.
I don't know how at all, but excuse me. But when you describe him playing backwards, it just somehow seems to fit with listening to his music over the years.
Yeah. Well, he begins by resolving, and then he takes every measure somewhere else, somewhere you didn't expect it to go.
So with the band release and the solo release and writing songs, did you have to sort of say, gee, this is a solo record song, this is a band song, or did those things just sort of work them out in writing songs?
I'm not smart enough to do that. I just write a bunch of songs, and some of them sound stupid when I try to play them by myself, and those are Muses songs.
Okay. All right, well, if you're ready for another tune,
yeah,
we'd love to hear one here.
This is called Pandora's Box.
Live music at 90.3 KEXP, Pandora's Box from Throwing Muses from the new release. Was it pretty vital to have new songs to get the band sort of back together again for a little bit?
It was. You know, we'd been playing live every year or so. We would go on our website and tell fans where we were going to be.
Yeah.
And they would fly in from everywhere, from Sweden, New Zealand, crazy places. And that was great. Like a company picnic, we'd all get together and we'd play a bunch of shows, and we'd do Throwing Muses karaoke and stuff. But every time we looked down at our set lists, they were older than they were before, and that was depressing. So it was about time that we had some new material to play.
Now, on the new release, Tanya Donnelly's on there for some vocal parts, and she joined you on stage for a few of the shows as well on this tour, I believe. How did that go? Pretty well?
Oh, it was wonderful. Yeah, it was really fun. She did the Northeast and L.A., I think. It was great. It was really fun to be playing together again. I can't believe how much I miss her now that she's not with us.
I'm sure that was just a treat too for the fans that were at those shows.
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Now, on the new release, the new CD kind of folds out, and there's all kinds of cool artwork on there. I was kind of wondering where'd the artwork come from?
That's a painter named Shinra Otaki, who Vaughn Oliver from 23 Envelope put me in touch with. Vaughn is the guy that does the 4AD record covers that are so distinctive, and Vaughn and I could never agree on Throwing Muses covers because he would present me with this artwork that was beautiful and ethereal and gauzy and very Cocteau Twinsy. And I'd say, well, did you listen to the record? It's none of those things. It's goofy and it's messed up. So can you do something goofy and messed up? And he would say, why on earth would I do something goofy and messed up? So one day he sent me a book of Shinro's paintings, and he said, this is where we meet. And it was. Shinro's beautiful and in control of his art, but it's goofy and it's messed up. And so I've been using him for my covers ever since.
Now, on the website as well, on the label website, 4AD.com, there's a contest I see to win a guitar that's going to be, I think, signed by the band. And there's a couple of trivia questions on there. I don't know if you've seen them, but I was curious. Did you get to have input on what the questions would be?
No, I heard about it, though. Something about counting the holes in the record.
Counting the dots on the... So now I know also why it has to fold all out. You know, it's kind of... And then you have to open it all up and do all the counting. There's another one. Yeah, that's
very sad.
Yeah.
That's not rocking at all.
Yeah, there's another question on there anyway, but fans who haven't seen it yet, it's on the website, and it's 4AD.com, and there's a couple of questions to answer, and then somebody's going to win a guitar.
I probably don't know the answers to those questions. I don't get a free record.
I think this is it for the little mini tour tonight, I believe.
Right.
And then just kind of see where it goes from here. What kind of plans do you have in the near future?
We have a few more festival-type shows that don't involve touring. But I don't know. We don't really think into the future anymore because it never works out. We're always wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm going to plan bad things, and then good things will happen.
But you're going to still be writing songs and just kind of just see where things go from there.
Yeah, and mailing out the cookies.
Okay,
that seems
right.
To work.
Cookies is the word of the day here. Now, you were living here in the Northwest for a little bit, but are not.
It was a
right
long bit, but I had to leave. This is my beloved home, I swear. And I had to leave for bad reasons because of a death in the family. So we're trying to work our way back. If you could make it any cheaper here, that would help. Do you have any say in that?
I'm afraid not. That is something that don't have any say in that. There have been a few other musicians of some bands that have... it seems like there's been a little bit of an increase on the last year or two of people that are somewhat established in other areas and kind of moving here for a little bit. So
you had to wait till it wasn't so hip.
Yeah, those days are over. So it's just a place up on the map there in the corner.
It's just paradise. That's all.
Well, the band is playing this evening, 6 o'clock, over at Easy Street Records in Lower Queen Anne, and tonight at Graceland. And once again, thank you very much for coming in. I think you're going to do one more tune here.
You pronounced my name right for the first time, I have to say.
Yeah, I know.
You've always called me Christian Hirsch.
I know. My mouth is weird.
I'm going to call you Steezy Boom.
Yeah, there you go. I always blow that name. And once you try to correct it, and then you're on mic and you're nervous. And I know.
No, I was touched. You actually worked on that.
Yes, I worked on it at home yesterday.
My mother can't pronounce my name anymore. This is called Flying.
Some pretty places, but thank you
All right, that sounded terrific. Thank you very much. Thanks again for coming in here.
Thank you.
On this afternoon. Again, you can see the band over at Easy Street Records about 6 p.m. That's in Lower Queen Anne, and tonight at Graceland. And we're going to go back to the Amanda Wild Show. It's 90.3 KEXP here in Seattle.